page 1 of their instruction guide is going to show you how all of the parts kind of go together in an exploded view and give you some detail which will help to determine how the installation will go in an overall fashion. So that's what you're going to see on page 1, so you can refer to it for that exploded view. Pages 2, 3, 4, and 4 are your installation instructions, step by step. Okay, the first step is see owner's manual, and I've explained there's a lot of things that you should be familiar with about jacking up a slingshot, the points that you need to jack it from, and chalking and so forth. Safety is a big thing that you want to keep in mind. Elevate the rear wheel, support the vehicle on jack stands. I'll let you read all of that, but mainly that's the step that we're going to do right now. And we also remove the rear wheel. Okay, I've got her jacked up, secured, and with the aid of a 17mm deep socket, I'm going to take off the last, or loosen the last lug bolt. You just simply remove the wheel and we'll be ready to go. Okay. With the tire removed, the first step, or the second step, is to unplug and remove the license bracket assembly. I have a tucked tag license bracket which is mounted to the airfoil here. You may not have this. You may have the original license bracket, which would be underneath there, and you may not have the airfoil. So we're going to start from the fact that I have the airfoil, and we're going to remove this assembly right here. This is the tag bracket, which is the same as this is the stock. By the way, Snazzy 2 here is a 2017, so we're doing this on a 2017 slingshot. This is the locking clip that they're talking about. It's snapped in, so you have to put your fingernail in there, and this is actually the flat side. The rounded side is away from the clip. So once you do that, you'll be able to unplug it like that. So that's what it looks like. So it's unplugged, and now we're going to remove this tag bracket. Now, if you have the tucked tag bracket on there, you use a 5/32 Allen tool and unloosen, and the whole assembly will come down, leaving the airfoil intact. So there's 2 of these, and I'll pull them loose. The stock one, you'll have to remove a few things there. So there we go. And there's the reflector assembly, and this is the tuck tag bracket. Okay, folks, step 4 is to turn the fender over, and one thing you want to do is the box and the wrapping bubble wrap will make a great little cradle for you to work with. So I would set up kind of like this, or have it on a towel or something that you don't mess up the fender. But this makes a great cradle to work. We're going to take the wiring harness, and it says to take the single end and put it through the hole, picture C, which is over here. That's hole C right there. And you're going to run it through and out through the hole in the top of the fender, and there's 2 plugs in there. It's going to be this plug right here you're going to take out, And so I'm just pushing on it and remove it. And there's another plug on the other side, but right now there's your plug, and you're just going to put that aside. And we're going to take the single end, there's the double end, so there's no mistaking that. And here's a good look at this clip and arrangement of how that little connector works. So we simply guide this through and stick it through there. And then it shows you having it up like this. Leave the double terminal end of the wire harness exposed under the fender. Picture E and F, and right here's E and F, and we've got it down here. I'm just going to stick it up underneath there, and they'll tell us where this is going to go. E and F, if you need to look at it better, you can go over to the computer terminal, but it looks pretty clear here, as you're just going to later kind of ball that wire up, the excess, and we're gonna store it in a bracket. Okay, insert the 3 nut clips in the platform, picture E, facing flat side up, and you pry the nut clips open using a common screwdriver. So we'll take this, we do turn it over, and what they're talking about is in picture F, let's see, E actually, E, they're showing these clips, and it looks like we use 3 of them, and we want to go with the flat side up. It's going to go in here like this, and actually you may need to pry these open a little bit to, let's see, I think they mean to pry it open like this when you're trying to push it on. And wiggle and push, and eventually it'll go in. And you can kind of go under here and spread it out. There. Okay, that's one, and it should line up with the hole right there. Now we're at step 8. Insert 2 zip ties from opposite directions through the side holes in the fender platform. Right here are a hole pass through, and it means to take 1 zip tie and go this direction, and 1 zip tie to go in this direction. As 9, position the license plate bracket, picture E or F, on the platform or fender platform, and screw in place using 3 6mm screws taken off the SS. Now, if you had the tucked tag bracket mounted, you're not going to be able to use it with the 1.0 fender. You're going to have to go back to your original license plate bracket, but it will be tucked up underneath anyway. Now, one other thing you're going to have to do is take the tag light off of the tucked tag bracket using a 5/16 nut driver, and we'll just do that right now. Here's the original license plate, and here's the original screws, and this is a T30 torque bit, and we simply tighten these babies up and just kind of snug them, because you're going to line up the tip of this tag light with the tip of that. So you want to be kind of able to move it around a little bit. And we're doing it. Okay, now right there, that looks pretty square, so I'm going to tighten her on up. This is the point that we've come to, that we have to secure the wires, arrange and plug in before finally tightening the zip ties and the 3 screws right here. What we're going to do is take some of this excess wire and we're just going to shove it up in there. And what you have here, there is the light, and it's going to get secured there with a little tie wrap. And then this end is for the optional LED light. So we've got that feature. You may not opt to have it, so you wouldn't use this, so you'd want to tuck this around. You want all of this wiring secured so it's not hanging down, and that's your objective with tucking this wire in. So we're just going to take one of these tie wraps and got to make sure they're through the hole correctly, and this will also secure this from moving, and we can still secure stuff. Oop, I got that one backwards, so you have to just kind of twist it back around, and there you go.